Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another outstanding episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. In one corner, we have the greatest thing on God's green earth. No, we're not talking about money, Mary Jane, or Popeye spinach. He is the tranquil dart of Ringside Society, Delaware's greatest American hero. And whenever he goes to Taco Bell, especially on today, Tuesday, he asks for a chief burrito because he loves the combination of chicken and beef. It takes two to make a thing go right. He's Rob Bass, and you are not. And the second corner, we have that ocean crossing, straight up Boston, flight catching, shot glass snatching. Where's he going next? Nobody knows. 3 continents down, 3 more to go. No cap, straight facts, the worldwide starboy, Remy Blue. But it's not about us. You see, we have a special guest with us today. One of the most impressive that we have had on Ringside Society. You know, she's actually a dual champion. That's right. She is the Venue Wrestling Entertainment Women's Champion and also the Knox Pro champion. That's right. She's trained with Rikishi and them over there in California. She's also appeared on AEW and wrestled against the likes of Nyla Rose and also Mercedes Martinez. I almost said Marina Shafir, but she's also wrestled against Mercedes Martinez, gone toe-to-toe with Mercedes Martinez, and she is making a big name for herself in the world of pro wrestling. If you're not watching her, you might as well start now. And she also may be a superhero in disguise. I think she's using the wrestling thing because she still wants to put hands on people. But with that being said, everybody, welcome to the show, the ultimate athlete, J. Rod.
Let's go. Let's go.
J. Rod, you know, it's an honor to have you on here. Thank you very much. Man, I gotta say, we've seen your Instagram profile, and I gotta ask, is there anything you can do? Like, geez.
Hey, there's nothing the ultimate athlete can't do. So let's just start with that.
You're an athlete. You know, you've wrestled, you know, all over. I'm not gonna say, but you've been involved with a particular promotion, which I'm not gonna talk about. You've wrestled on AEW against Nyla Rose and look at me calling the girl Mercedes. Please don't kick my ass. Mercedes Martinez. And
Rose and Marina Shafir tagged. So you were actually somebody right on that.
Oh, okay. I don't feel too bad. And also, guess what? Guess here's the craziest thing. Rob, I know you're gonna be like, she is also acquaintances, maybe best friends, I don't know, with Arissa LeBrock, the daughter of Kelly LeBrock and everybody's favorite 1980s ass kicker with a ponytail, Steven Seagal. This woman is just 100% amazing.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure to be here.
Yeah. So I gotta ask you, J Rod. I ask, 90% of 99% of our guests. How did it all start for you? How did you become a fan or get involved with pro wrestling?
Okay, so I actually I came in more on the athlete side, and I found wrestling kind of as an adult rather than I didn't grow up necessarily a wrestling fan, but I was on a pursuit of my purpose and my passion. And I was like, I got through college and I'm like, okay, now that I've kind of gotten what like my family and everything kind of wanted in that way, like, okay, I did kind of the adulting of I went to school, I got my degree. Okay, now what? And I was on that pursuit of like my purpose and my passion. And I found professional wrestling and I've literally not looked back, and that's literally consumed my world ever since I like found wrestling in 2018. So I went full in and I haven't looked back. So yeah, no, wrestling means a lot to me. And it does, like, I wish that I would have watched it growing up. I feel like it would have saved me a lot of time in studying and looking back at things that I could have, looked at like from a young kid onto now. But yeah, no, doing a lot of research and studying because I didn't necessarily grow up a fan. But I know that like what I meant to do is be a mentor to young kids. I really want to travel. I want to use my athletic background. I did volleyball, softball, cheer, track, gymnastics. I was just the ultimate athlete. And so I wanted to use my athleticism. I have a business degree, a marketing degree. So I wanted to apply that as well. So I'm like, what can I use my athleticism, travel, be a mentor to young kids, use my athleticism? What is it that I can like do that like implements all like that I feel like are my God-given skills and abilities, as well as like what will challenge me and help me become the woman I ultimately want to be. So that's through wrestling. And I've literally, I found it and I was like, this is exactly what I was searching for and what I like know in my heart is like meant to be. So, I'm super blessed. And yeah, that's kind of what got me into wrestling.
I just gotta say, I'm gonna say this, and I'm not just saying this just to, suck up to you or anything, but it's only a matter of time until you get signed. I can feel it in my bones. If it's not Triple H, it's gonna be Tony Khan, one of them. And it would be very remiss if they did not, given your resume in regards to athleticism, and then how impressive you are in the ring. I saw you put that ultimate suplex on Johnny Robbie, and I was like, damn. I mean, we got love for Johnny Robbie because she's been on our show too, but oh geez, that was just brutal, man.
I know. I love Johnny Robbie, and I feel it in my bones too. So I really appreciate the support and encouragement. It means more than you'll ever know.
Yeah, hey, like I said, the sky's the limit with you, and I could definitely see you going very far and wowing the crowd and everything. As a matter of fact, you're already in one of my dream matches. I want to see. I want to see J-Rod go up against Bianca Belair. That's what I'm hoping to see.
That's one of my dream matches too.
I want to see that happen. Like, and another one, which I have a good feeling is going to be even more realistic. I don't know if you've met her. I don't know if you've you've probably seen her. I know you've definitely seen her, but I don't know if you've met her face to face. But I want to see J-Rod, the ultimate athlete, J-Rod versus the king of professional wrestling, Kylan King.
Yes.
That's what I want to see.
I want to
another one I'd like to see.
And I would say the other one's unrealistic, but yes, I want to see both of those happen in my dream life and dream career. So I'm ready and I'm preparing, and there's nothing going to stop me. So I'm going to keep going.
I don't think there's anything that could stop you. I really don't. Like I said, with someone with your like background, I don't think there's anything that can stop you. It's only if you yourself want to stop, and I don't think it's for you. I don't see you doing that anytime soon. So we're definitely looking forward to it. And then you also graduated Knox Pro.
Yeah.
Which is ran by one of my favorite wrestling families, the Anoa'i family, also known as the Samoan dynasty. So tell us, how was that training? What was it like, walking in and, the training and everything? And, did your collegiate athletic background help you out with that as well too? Was it a whole different world, completely different world for you?
Yeah, so I started training with Rikishi post-pandemic a little bit when things started to open back up. So I started with him in Reno on Hawaii in April of 2021. And so I've been with them a little officially over 2 years. I do still train. There's actually going to be training tonight, tomorrow, and Thursday and Sunday this week. So 4 or 5 days a week training, both in the ring and then outside of the ring in the gym setting, as well as a full-time job, because I have to pay for this all to go down. But I used to actually make the drive when I lived in San Diego all the way to Rikishi's school, just because it is such like you said, one of those schools that it would not be the smartest for me to not go there. So I made that sacrifice and I drove and I did what I had to do. And then ultimately I ended up moving so I could be closer to wrestling training up here in LA. So yeah, no, it's honestly been a dream come true. The Samoan family, the Samoan dynasty means everything to me. I think that they're incredible. I'm originally from Ohio, so I don't have like family and friends per se out here. I have some coworkers and friends that I've kind of met through my career in the corporate world, but I also like just their family has kind of become mine out here in LA, and they mean the world to me. We're really close, and they give me the best advice, and knowing, who they are and where they come from and their dynasty and all of professional wrestling, I couldn't be happier to be learning from the greatest, I feel, of all time, the Samoan dynasty family. So it's super incredible. I'm super blessed, and I'm really hoping I'm making them proud.
Oh, my bad. I always do that for some reason. Rob was about to win me. I gotta say that I always say that if I were a pro wrestler, if I were into pro wrestling, two places I'd want to train at would be the Hart Dungeon, which is ran by the Hart family, which unfortunately is no more. But I would definitely want to train with Natalia and her husband, Tyson Kidd, for the technical aspect. Because I got a feeling like if I learn from that, I would learn so much in the technical aspect of pro wrestling. But for the power part of it, I would definitely want to be trained by the Samoan dynasty, because I always said if you train at, and I have yet to meet somebody that's actually, or we have yet to have somebody that's on this show that I've had training by both people. But I always said those are two of the best types of training you can have, because you have the technical ability and then you also have the power and so on. So that's pretty cool that you got that opportunity to, train with, the Anawati family. And I always say like they're big on family. Like we've had one member, I don't know if you've met her, Vale Anawati. She's over in Florida at WXW. And she has told us how, they're a close-knit family, and that's definitely a great thing to experience as well. I've heard a lot of people are like family when they go there, and it's a great experience. So it's definitely paying off, man. You're definitely turning heads and everything. So you finish your training and everything. You guys had a graduation ceremony, and you got you got the handshake from Rikishi and Reno Anawai, aka Count Black Pearl.
Yeah.
And they said, "Okay, congratulations, you can now officially call yourself a wrestler. Here's your certificate. Go out in the world, take bookings, and make us proud." But now you got AEW now in the midst, and you got Nyla Rose, Marina Shafir, and then you got Mercedes Martinez. Three experienced wrestlers in the game. What was it like stepping in that ring in front of thousands and thousands of viewers, maybe even millions, because they're on YouTube too? But what was it like stepping in that ring and performing in front of such a large crowd?
Having that experience, honestly, during the time, I just tried to be present and in the moment and soak it all in, because I did put in the work, and I knew that, sometimes you won't necessarily feel fully prepared for an opportunity, but you want to go in and take that opportunity. So I know my first match was with Mercedes Martinez, but that was my first non-Knox Pro match. So my first independent match was on AEW Dark with Mercedes Martinez. So to have that experience, super nervous and nerve-wracking. And even looking back, I'm like, darn it, I wish I didn't look as nervous as I do. So when I had my most recent opportunity with Sandra Moon against Nyla Rose and Marina Shafir, I feel like I felt a lot more confident and I felt more so too, like I belonged there and that I like am meant to be there with those girls and that type of talent. So yes, they have the experience, but I have the heart and the athleticism and the dedication. So I just hope to continue to, like you said, hopefully get like a contract with one of the bigger promotions here soon. I would love to, maybe take my day job and make that my new day job.
And I honestly speaking, I hope that happens to you because I always wish. I know it's pretty far fetched, but I always wish that everybody in the industry, because I know I'm not in it. I'm not a wrestler. I'm not even a security guy at the shows, but I have a pretty good feeling of how tough the wrestling business could be. It's a fight, and you got to have a lot of heart to deal with it. Rob Bass over here, he probably know, and he'll probably tell you, he's a referee. He knows, he's seen it firsthand how tough. He sees firsthand how tough it could be for those that are in the industry. So I'm definitely hoping I'm definitely hoping that it works out for you as well too. And I'm hoping that you get to. I know you're based on the West Coast, but I'm hoping you get to make your East Coast debut over here real soon. For most like promotions like CCW, which they're doing big things. You got Battle Club Pro over here. We got a lot of good talent over here too as well. And I'm definitely hoping you get a chance to check out what the East Coast has and so on, because like I said, I always say every place has a certain vibe about it. And I've seen wrestling over in California, and I gotta say, y'all are larger than life. It's something about y'all that makes me go like, wow, like it's like if I took like one of those pills from the Matrix. And I'm like, wow. I'm not a drug user, by the way, for those of y'all that are seeing this. So don't put me with Remy's taking pills now. No, like it's like if I took a pill and I'm like, wow, like this is awesome. It's like takes you for a ride, So definitely hoping you get a chance to be over here on the East Coast as well.
I'm from Ohio, so I'm actually born and raised in the Midwest, and I'm super excited. My family is actually yet to see me wrestle, so I'm due for an East Coast wrestling match. So yeah, I would love to come over there and just like continue to gain my experience. And they say get your reps in. So I'm super excited to just continue to grow and develop and become the best version of me and the best wrestler that I can be.
Yeah, and speaking of Ohio, so Ohio, you have we've had several people, not on the show, but there's several people that are making a name for themselves from the great state of Ohio. You have Trey Miguel, who's over in Impact Wrestling, who was the X Division. No, he was the X Division champion, but he recently lost it to Chris Sabin. You have Nevaeh, who's over in Impact Wrestling. You have Jake Christ, and you also have people like Sami Callihan, and probably the most successful of them all, John Moxley, the former Dean Ambrose. What is your mindset seeing your fellow? I don't know if they call you, is it Ohioans? Ohioans?
I think Ohioans. Yeah, I think that's the word.
Yeah. What goes through your mind when you see those people from your same state, representing your state?
It's possible. It shows me that. It shows me that it's possible, and that I want to be another strong female coming out of the state, and I want to represent Ohio in that way as well. But yeah, it means a lot, and it shows me, it's possible. And I know that people from Ohio, little Ohio, can make it out of there and make it in the big world. So I'm really hoping to be another one of those.
That's awesome. That's and we're definitely looking forward to seeing that. Like I said, we know it's gonna happen. So I just got a few more questions. I know Rob has a couple for you. So I couldn't help but notice that on your Instagram, somebody put a caricature of you in a comic. And I just gotta ask you, man, if you could, relate yourself to any comic book character, who would it be? I got a feeling. I think I know who you might choose, but I'm gonna let you say it first, and then I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna cap. I'm gonna be I'm be 100% real with you with who I think, but I'm gonna let you say who it is.
Okay.
Who you think?
So I think that I would represent in a comic book She-Hulk.
I knew it. My psychic powers are back.
You knew it. But she's just she's that strong businesswoman during the day. And that's what I feel like I kind of am as well. And then she becomes that superhero and helps saves the world at night. So, and she's super strong, athletic, in shape, and she has the curly hair and the tone figure. So I'm basically the living comic book She-Hulk.
Honestly speaking, when I saw you, I already imagined you being in the business suit with the glasses on, with the suit, with the Halliburton suitcase, in your hand, actually getting ready to fight a court case or something. I could definitely see you. I could definitely see you doing that. I could also see you like donning like the purple and white, and with the green on, just ready to kick butt whenever. I could definitely see that.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I think that channeling her within wrestling really helps me too, just because I know that she is this strong woman that is a force to be reckoned with. So I want to be that in the ring. So I do channel her when I go inside of the ring. And yeah, maybe even one day I'll have like a rip-off suit of some sort that I can, walk down to the ring in my suit, rip it off, and then become She-Hulk.
Hey, you might be onto something with the fans. Definitely. Actually, you know what? Rob, I don't know if you've ever seen it, or maybe has anybody ever seen a female go to the ring and rip her shirt like Hulk Hogan? Like, nobody's done that, right? You might be onto something.
Hey, I'm ready. And watch it happen like next week. This is typically what happens. Like I'll say something and then for some reason I'm like, oh my gosh, they're literally doing it right now, which is a good thing because that means, maybe my thoughts are manifesting. And so I'm like, hey.
Yeah, I'll when you do that, and if I see that, I'll probably call Rob on the phone, like, Rob, oh my God, you just did it, did it, just did it, did it. I'll be like, my voice will be all high, like, I'm trying to hit a high note, and then I'll be like, Rob, what's this? And you're all frantic and so on. And Rob, like, dude, calm down, man. Like, jeez. So I just got two more questions before I turn it over to Rob. So my second to last question is, you're doing great in terms of winning belts. You're the VWE champion, VW Women's champion. You're the Knox Pro champion. You're kicking butt everywhere and taking names. If you had to choose, I know eventually I don't know if you're going to want to go after tag team gold in the near future, but if you were to go after some gold, who would be your tag team partner?
Ooh, I'm actually, I kind of want to hold like some sort of like tag team, like tryout situation. I want to kind of feel out. I feel like having a tag team partner, you have to have that chemistry. And hey, I know there's so many women's divisions that have tag team titles now. The WWE, AEW, like all these places have these recent titles for women, so they need more tag team women. So I would love to maybe have like an open tryout for the Ultimate Athletes tag team partner. I think that would be cool. Because honestly, like I feel like it's going to take that chemistry to really know if that's going to be kind of a longevity tag team partner. But I've yet to. I mean, there's a lot of people. When Brittany Brooks and I do some signings and stuff, we've done some together. People are like, when are you tagging? Because she's pink and purple. She's muscly and I'm muscly. So that may be a cool dynamic. Zara, she's up and coming down in San Diego area, but she's a powerhouse as well. So I think, and she has some cool purple and black gear. So it kind of would be cool. And I feel like maybe have some good chemistry there as well. But I mean, that's not even, that's just here locally. I haven't even, there's a whole world of independent wrestling. And so, I mean, I would love to continue to travel and meet people and maybe find, like what you said, someone that I can tag team with to create that superpower.
Awesome! Wow, I could only imagine how that tag team would definitely be. I know it's going to be I know it's going to be hella impressive, and the reason why I say it's going to be hella impressive because I know for a fact that whoever teams with you just has to be as equal a badass as you. So I know that it's going to be definitely one of those tag teams to watch and that you'll always remember. So my last question is, and this is a question that I'm very curious about. Now I know that you hit the gym a lot and you go hard in the gym, and of course when you face your opponents, you can't be the ultimate athlete without getting into that zone. That's what makes you who you are. What are some songs? How do I phrase this? What songs are on the Ultimate Athlete's ultimate playlist?
Okay, so I am someone that likes a good variation. Like, depending on my mood, I'll listen to like different things, but I'll listen to some old school Kanye all the way to some old pop that'll get your blood and dances and everything going. And then I also I went to school in Alabama, so I'm also a country fan. So I feel like it kind of depends on the day, but I definitely will change it up and try to get, in the zone with just a variety of music. I honestly, I like any and all music, and I'm one to just kind of like the song per se versus like liking a specific artist or liking a specific genre. I'm like, oh, I really like this song. So it'll kind of, sometimes I'll hear something and I'll Shazam it and I'm like, what song is this? And I'll add it to my playlist. So I'll have just a good variety of genres and artists in my playlist, but I'll just go through it. I'll put on a gym flow type women, just like a strong like female like type of like Alicia Keys, like that kind of song to kind of get me hyped up in that way too. So it depends on the time, the kind of mood that I'm in and the time, but I feel like any and all music. And if I get, to really feeling something, that's kind of what I'll choose to really hone in on that day.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. If I could recommend a song for you, and this person that made this song, I'm not even really a fan of. I don't hate her, but I'm not a fan of her. I mean, I'm not really into her music, but for some reason, yeah, and this is why I say Shazam is a blessing because I use it too as well. For some reason, when I went to the dentist the other day and I was sitting in a chair and I heard this song out of nowhere, and then I was like, hold on, let me Shazam this. Oh, she sang this? Wow. The song is called Midnight Sun. I don't know if you heard it before. It's by Miley Cyrus.
Yes.
And I was like, Miley did this? Like, I've been out of touch with her for like years. I mean, the last song I remember from her was the one where she cut off her hair and she said, the one where she said, "We can't stop, we won't stop."
Yeah.
That was like 10 years ago. And I was like, wow, she sang this song. And then there was somebody did a mashup of her and Stevie Nicks' Edge of 17. And I was like, yo, this is my new gym list, man. This is my new gym song, or one of them. So I would definitely recommend that for you if you haven't heard it before.
I love that song, actually. That's one of the ones I will jam out to. So we do have good tastes, similar tastes in that then.
That's awesome. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to Rob. Rob has a couple of questions for you. Rob, go ahead and take the floor.
All right, sweet, thank you. So yeah, y'all were just talking about music. I'm over here. I'm like, I don't know what y'all are talking about. I listen to dad music, you know what I mean? 'Cause I'm so old and stuff, you know.
What's considered dad music?
Oh yeah, like 90s and I guess above, I mean, yeah, the music I listen to is so dad that it comes home during its lunch break to play GoldenEye 64. That's how dad it is. That's how dad it is.
Oh my God.
So what's going on, J Rod? Oh no, what are you saying?
I was gonna say I listen to some like 90s country. I know that that's like a weird like niche of music, but when I bartended, they would bring like Diamond Rio and like some of the old school like 90s country artists like to come play live. So I got really familiar with like that 90s country in that way too. But yeah, no, it's not all dad music 90s.
There you go. I mean, yeah, I'm not big in the country, but there is some country I like. You know, I like I don't dance, but I like the boogie, and I will come to blows over the boot scoop boogie. You know what I mean? Yeah, heel toe, dosey do, let's go. Come on, let's go.
Love it.
That's right. So how are you doing today? You know, how's everything going? You know, did anything crazy happen today? No, just a normal day.
It was a pretty normal day. I had a lunch for my day job that I had to kind of schedule ahead of time to introduce one of my physical therapy clinics that I work for to a doctor's office. So I kind of like set them up like a business lunch and so I had to supply the food and be there to kind of help facilitate that arrangement. So it was kind of interesting in that aspect. But other than that, yeah, just working today and then going to training tonight. And then of course, this amazing interview right now. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. Yeah, we appreciate you taking your time out to come chat with us. Definitely. So I do got to ask, you know, that San Diego weather. I've never been there, but I always hear that the meteorologist there in San Diego has probably the easiest job on earth. You know, every day you just wake up 75 and sunny. So next 7 days, 75 and sunny. Is that true? Is it pretty much really like it out there?
It pretty much is. Here lately, it's been May, so it doesn't really rain like it does in other places around this time of the year. And when it rains, it literally mists, and I'm like, I wouldn't consider this rain, but it truly is like that amazing weather. So I'm just super blessed because to have come from a place that has all the drastic seasons, like the full snow, the full rain, the tornadoes, the hot summers, the humidity, and like it's craziness. And so coming here and I'm like, I don't look at the weather app. I don't even look at it. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be great today. So it's amazing. And I definitely, if you haven't been or haven't been out here, you definitely should come make a visit.
Yeah, yeah, that's one of my places I'm trying to go to. I'm trying to go to Arizona because I want to see the big hole in the ground and stuff
Yeah.
like that. You know, I want to see that. Now I want to go check out California. I do want to see San Diego because I've always heard that 75 and sunny. I want to go out there and be like, this is awesome. Because there's literally been times I've, you know, woken up. Well, I woke up in the morning and like, what's the temperature outside? It's so cold, and I'm like, oh, there ain't one. It's zero. There ain't even the temperature. Like, geez, okay, all right, I'm gonna have a fun day.
Hit me up when you're out here. I have plenty of places for you to go visit and to definitely like add to your list of things to do while you're out here. There's so many different things. I've had all the different territories for work. So even though I'm not from here, I feel like I am very familiar and well connected in California. So I can make those connections and get you some good places to try out while you're here in California.
Sounds good. Yeah, yeah. I definitely, yeah. I would want to catch a show out there too. You know, what I mean, if I go out there, I gotta catch a Cali show. You know, what I mean,
Yeah.
I heard always heard they're awesome, so I'm definitely trying to check that out. Now, now, speaking of that, you know, I got to see that you were at the WrestleMania in Hollywood. So, what was that like? You know, was it actually Hollywood? You know, walking the stars on the sidewalk thing and all that.
Because I live in kind of around that LA area where the WrestleMania
Mm,
was. I didn't do the whole like tourist necessarily if I were to like
okay.
come in from out of town, but I was just so close and it was so easy. I had friends stay that came into town for WrestleMania and having of course the bloodline being such a great story and that kind of being the headline of WrestleMania. Everyone was so heartbroken, which it is, heartbreaking what happened to Cody Rhodes, but I was just like, we the ones, baby, and we're here in California, and I trained with the Samoan Dynasty, so like having that win and that being in Hollywood, in California, where the bloodline is and where they kind of originate, I'm like, this is all meant to be. So it honestly was a dream come true, and I hope next WrestleMania I'm either in that picture or in the world to where you see me in those independent shows around WrestleMania time of year.
That's right. Yeah, I know WrestleMania is going to be here around my area in Philly, I think next year or whatever. So I know I work for 1CW, and I think we're doing some WrestleMania shows around there or whatever. So hopefully, man, yeah, I get to, check out the WrestleMania, life or whatever. So I haven't done that yet. I haven't done it yet.
And it's coming to where you're like used to, so it's gonna be great. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be so fun.
Oh yeah. Philly's just an hour north of me. Well, once I hit the highway, boom, I'm good. You know what I mean? It's like, bam. So I don't have to sit there wait for Ubers. I don't have to wait for like staying out there like the one WrestleMania I heard. They were like, man, we're out here for 12 hours. Nobody came pick this up. I was like, whew, no, I can go home. I can head home.
Yeah, you're gonna love it. It's so fun and such an experience, especially if you haven't done it. I definitely look up where WrestleCon will be in Philly. It's usually takes place like a couple days before, but a lot of the legends, you'll see Rikishi, you'll see a lot of the I got to represent Knox Pro as their champion and sign autographs and stuff there, but it was just really cool to kind of see and meet people from even back in the day and now current and future stars too. So it was a really cool experience, and definitely go check out all the things that they bring into town with their superstore and all those things too. And hey, the tickets are a bit pricey, but I say it's worth it. Try to save up now for the tickets next year, because you're gonna want that full experience.
There you go. So I do got, you were talking about, learning from Rikishi and stuff, man. It's probably got to be awesome, like checking out matches with him, getting advice from him. Like he probably tells you stuff like, like this is why you should do this. You should do this because blah 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 blah. And because my trainer, he'll do that or whatever. He'll be like, yeah, when you go and do this, you're supposed to do it. And I'll be like, yes, that is like, I'll have like these moments like, why? Yes, that is so. Yes, it makes so much sense now. Do you have those moments, learning from Rikishi or something? You're like, wow, okay.
Yes, I'm like, if I could be in your brain for 1 minute, like that's all like I would want. Like you literally like are like have so much knowledge, and the psychology aspect of wrestling. Like he can look at two people and like have like form a match in his head. Like he just knows like he is a firm believer on learning to work and not. I know a lot of the independent scene now, like you're calling matches and you're doing things so rehearsed and he's like, no, all you need to know is the finish, and you need to learn how to work, and you need to understand what the next person can and can't do, and that way you can implement that within your match. But all you need is the finish, and the rest should just be psychology and looking in front of you. So his perspective is incredible, and it means the world to me, because I'm like, that is so genius, and it's just because it's literally engraved in him.
Oh yeah. I'm with you on that. My trainer, he'll say all that stuff too. It's like, oh wow, just yeah. In his, but I feel the same way. I would want to get in his mind for like a minute, and just like scratch up all the wrestling knowledge, because he's probably forgotten more than I will ever learn in my life. You know what I mean? It's like, plus he he has a lot of yo mama jokes and stuff, so I'll probably steal a couple of those from him, use back on him or something,
Yeah, those will be good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I'm just kidding, Mark. I'm just teasing, Mark. I'm teasing. Oh man. So I did want to ask you, about, you went to, college stuff. You got your business degree and stuff. You know what I mean? My mom was like a mile down the road, so I don't know if I could say your school name. She's an Auburn fan. You know what I mean? And if I said that name and she heard it, I'd have to go outside and get myself a switch. You know what I mean? But Roll Tide or whatever.
Roll Tide. Okay, there you go. Yeah, no, Auburn, Alabama, that rivalry. So she's definitely not happy you're talking to a Bama grad right now.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't mention it. I was just like, oh yeah, we had a guest on yesterday. I wouldn't be like, yeah, she went to Alabama. Like what? Like, oh man, I like Auburn. I'm like, all right, mom.
There's actually a guy that trains at Rikishi's school now. He went to Auburn, so we have like this internal rivalry within Knox Pro. So it's funny because especially that time of year, he'll wear his Auburn stuff and I'll wear my Bama stuff, and it's kind of fun in that way too.
Oh yeah, because y'all had that game at the end of the year. What's it? The Iron Bowl. It's called the Iron Bowl, right? For y'all's
Yeah.
rivalry game. Yeah. Oh man, yes, yes. Woo! I couldn't imagine going there. You know, I mean, to like a big college like that. You know, and a rivalry, just the atmosphere and all. Wow, I couldn't imagine it.
And I'm gonna take a sip of my water. This is water. I just
Oh
don't.
no, you get what you want.
It looks like a weird bottle, so I'm like, let me make sure I note that it's water and I'm not just
No,
drinking.
we're all grown adults. You're good.
Okay, cool. Cheers.
Yeah,
Don't
we've
be
had people
ashamed.
drink
Trust me.
wine. Yeah.
I got mine too, so it's okay.
But yours
Well, it's
doesn't.
ice right now, but yeah.
Yeah, so I do got doing a business degree there. How long did that take? You know, were you actually doing sports there too? Were you playing softball there actually at college too, or were you just focused on I'm gonna get this degree and do my thing?
I did recreational. So
Mm,
in high school, I went to state for track. I was in varsity for all 4 years for volleyball. I did varsity cheerleading. So I had the option to be like a red shirt, like walk on the track field, but I knew that post school, like my highest jump, because I did high jump in
mhm.
track and field, was not going to be on that competitive level of some of the college athletes for D1. So I ended up doing like recreational volleyball. I got into CrossFit. That's when I started like weightlifting. We won like the co-ed flag football team, like within there. So I maintained like my athleticism and kept that, but I worked throughout college as well as went to school. So I wasn't necessarily a college athlete, but I definitely was still a college athlete in a way.
I got you. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, what I mean, doing that. The recreational thing and stuff. So you were playing sports as a kid and all. My parents, they had three of us. Three kids, and we all played sports. So every day after work, they were running around everywhere. And you were like, yeah, yeah, softball, volleyball, gymnastics, cheerleading and stuff. Did they have a special van for you? All right, this is where we're hauling you to, your next destination. Whatever. Or was it just was it always chaotic and were they finally happy when it was like, all right, we don't have to take her out anymore? She got a license, she can do her own thing.
Yep. And I'm also one of three kids too. So my brother and
Mm,
sister also did sports. So I mean, after like once you got into middle school, you would just go to school and then go to practice and then ride the bus wherever to like go to your games or whatever. So
mhm,
they didn't necessarily have to do too much running around like after middle school, but before that, totally. They were, the ones with the van that you climbed in to go to all the practices and stuff like that.
mhm.
So yeah, I remember playing soccer and gymnastics and all those things even from a young age. And then yeah, I carried that on throughout high school. And then I do sometimes wish that I played some college sports, but in general, looking back, I was still maintaining like that athleticism, and then I was like still eager to like implement that even after college too. So I did, moving into San Diego, I did beach volleyball. And I continued to dive into like the bodybuilding world. So I'm always, I feel like, going to have that athletic like urge. And so that's why I'm like, I'm meant to be a wrestler because I can
Mhm.
do that and I can use that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah. Like you said, it's probably going from athletics, all your life and stuff, and going right in there. It's probably the transition was easy. Probably like yeah,
So
damn.
they were like, do a forward roll. And I was like, here you go. And they're like, all right. So it translated well. The only sport I didn't do was wrestling. So I'm like, darn it, that could have helped me a lot. But other than that, like, you do the leapfrogs, which is like a toe touch, and in cheerleading, you do the baseball slide under the rope. You can do, the cartwheel, the back handsprings, all the things that the different sports. You'll see even more so the ultimate athlete pulls some of those sports and athletic recalls like back to the matches and the different
Mhm.
performances that I do.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I should have did the same thing, but I waited like 20 years, I mean, before I got into it, so I had 20 years of sleeping all day and partying all night before it was like, okay, you gotta go run around the ranch and stuff. It's like, oh, I had like 4 heart attacks today, and like, whoo, you know what I mean? It's like, oh man, I still went at it, and then next it was 3 heart attacks, and then it was only two, and it was only one, and then I didn't have any heart attacks, and I was good to go. So
Good,
yeah,
good.
keep at it, you'll make it, you know what I mean? If I can do it, anybody can do it.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, no, in ring shape is incredible. I feel like
Mhm.
wrestlers don't get enough credit because you can be in shape, but then you get in the ring and start running the ropes, and it's a whole nother beast.
Yes. I remember, I would always look at like a Royal Rumble or a Battle Royal and be like, oh man, that's probably like one of the easiest things. And we would do them like practice Battle Royals and like practice training or whatever. And you're over there, it's like, whew, man, how long have we been going? 5 minutes. Okay, let's go. All right. Like, whoo, all right. Oh, and it's like, all right, then we go back in and do another couple more. It's like, whoo, all right. Yeah, man. It's not for
You're
the faint of
waiting for
heart.
that 27, 28 spot, instead you were called out one or two.
Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Especially me, because I'm the old. I would be the oldest training there. You know what I mean? So I'm the old man with the rocking chair. Grandpa. So I'd always be first out there. Plus I only ref and all that, so I'd be out first. Let the young guys do their thing. All that good stuff. So I do got to ask, yeah, I was when I was doing some research and stuff. I noticed your gear and stuff, man. Your gear is awesome. Like, where'd you get the inspiration for that from? You know what I mean? Like, did it just come to you somewhere, or were you watching something and like, that looks badass. I'm gonna take inspiration from that.
So as Remy was kind of saying, I was She-Hulk influenced. So she
Hmm.
actually in some of the comics, she had some really cool gear that weren't her typical blue and purple. I mean white and purple. She had some other outfits that really intrigued me that I made into two pieces because I wanted to show off my abs, and then I also just kind of designed it based on some of the She-Hulk influence. But I made some of it my own, and I hope to continue to use her in that way of like reference points for different gear that I make in the future. But yeah, no, I'm huge on the marketing aspect side of it, having that background. I'm like huge into the gear and the fun like psychology as far as like we were saying, like the rip off suits and stuff like that. So I really want to continue to have like really cool gear. And I really like the Japanese style gear too, like the different textures and layers and the different things. So maybe like a hybrid of like a Japanese style with like the She-Hulk style, I think may look really cool. So yeah, no, there's so many great gear people that do like wrestling gear that I have a few people on my Instagram that have reached out to me to like help design stuff. So I'll send them like different things as far as like She-Hulk influence or whatever. So yeah, there should be continuing to be some really cool gear in the future too.
Oh man, yeah, I can't wait. I mean, yeah, see, I always like looking at people gear. I'm like, man, where do you get the creativeness for that and all? You know what I mean? I'm like, I didn't get that creative eye or bone in my body. I was born without that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the type, I'll move into a house and I'm like, yeah, I got a TV stand, a recliner, I'm good. TV, yeah, I'm fine. The pictures, anything, no. I don't have that creative, designer eye. Like, yeah, I'm always envious of that, man. Oh man.
Well,
So
then
I do gotta ask.
I
Go ahead.
recommend finding that like a gear person that'll help you, because you just have to be like kind of what you're into and what your character is, and they'll just look at you and know like, okay, well, I think you would look cool in this, and they kind of do that work for you, so that may help you too.
There you go. I could always fall back. I'd be like, yeah, I'm D-Rad from Malibu Tay or whatever. You know what I mean? There you go. I can do something like that. Yeah, Malibu's Most Wanted. That's what it was. That's what it was. That's what it was. So I do gotta ask, when's your next show? Do you have anything coming up this weekend, next weekend, next couple weeks or whatever? Are you busy?
Yeah, so my July and August are pretty much full right now. So the this weekend I actually have a show with Knox Pro. We have another Oxnard show. So Knox Pro likes to do their own tours a little bit. They want to give the students that experience of like learning to have that like teamwork, everyone travel together, everyone go to these different destinations, and have that like build the ring up, tear it down at the end of the night, like having that good show. Like we'll have like a cookout wherever we go. So it's kind of like building that team bonding as well as like getting that opportunity to travel and work the independence in kind of a different way. So yeah, we have one of those shows this weekend, and then next weekend I have off, which my dog will be super thankful for. And then the following weeks, yeah, things are gonna pick up. Hopefully soon you'll see me back in Vegas doing some shows, Arizona. So kind of doing what I can here on the West Coast with a full-time day job. It does make it a little harder to go like East Coast per se in different areas, but I definitely want to continue to try to make that happen. But yeah, there's also a huge opportunity. Knox Pro just announced in August. We're going to have the opportunity, some of the selected students, we're going to go to the Philippines. So out of the country, Knox Pro tour. So it's going to be
Nice.
a huge thing for us. And I'm super excited because I've never done anything like that before. So I'm just super excited to, hey, be a champion in another country. I think that's insane. So
Oh yeah, that is awesome. Yeah, get to wrestle in a different country, you know, and you get to travel all the way over there and stuff, you know, experience their culture and stuff. Oh yeah, that's gotta be awesome.
yeah, I'm so excited. I have no idea what to expect, but I'm there for the ride. I have my passport and I'm ready to go. So let's go.
That's cool. That's cool. So I do gotta ask. You mentioned something. Your dog. You know, what I mean, I gotta because I'm a dog lover. I have three of myself, and you know, I got you know, I did see your the pictures when I was doing research. But what's your dog's name? And what kind of dog do you have? You know what I mean?
So he was an accident dog that two neighbors back in Ohio in 2012 is when I got him. And so he's actually from Ohio, came with me to Alabama, and then moved out here with me in California. But his name is Tucker. And so
Okay.
now he's 11 years old. Yeah, he's my little sidekick, my buddy. And he's a mutt. He's just, like I said, I think he was two neighbors, accidental dogs mix up. But having a mutt, I feel like he has no like health issues. He's so good. He's super smart. He loves the water. And I like to say he's the ultimate athlete's son for a reason, because he's just like, he's addicted to fetch and like playing sports as a dog. I'm like, you are the ultimate athlete dog. Like that's you. So it's really cool to kind of have him. And even though he's 11, he's still like a puppy. So he's amazing. And he's, yeah, my little baby.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I have three beagles myself and all. They're not really athletic or anything. They're not very graceful or anything. They're loud and they like smelling, you know, the scents or whatever and barking at things. But yeah, being athletic, yeah, that's not their strong suit. You know what I mean? So
I love beagles. I grew up with some beagles too. So they're so cute and have that puppy dog face.
hmm yeah, they always do that to me. You know what I mean? I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, ah, all right, yeah, okay. You're good. You're good. Because people always ask me, like, how do you get your dogs to keep walking beside you and stuff? It's like, well, I'm a messy eater. When if I'm walking around eating or whatever, sometimes something falls and they're like, prime opportunity. You know what I mean? Treat time. Yeah.
Exactly.
And you know what's crazy? They all eat the same amount every day at three dogs, and they're all three different sizes. One's, you know, one's small, one's medium, you know, one's bigger. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know how it happens. You know, they eat the same amount. I don't know what it is. It's one of them things. I don't know. So I do want to ask before I pass it on back to Remy, you know, I got to ask, you know, are there any new movies and TV shows that you're into, you know, right now? Because I'm always trying to find something new to watch because I always get caught watching, you know, the same things over and over again, like comfort shows. You know what I mean? I'm always trying to broaden my horizons and find something new. So is there anything you new you've seen lately or you're into right now, you know, you're watching?
Um, Honestly, because I didn't grow up a wrestling fan, I like have just been diving in my little spare time to just watching wrestling. I feel like I dedicate so much of my time to watching that. So I feel like I'm not much help on new TV series and stuff to watch. But yeah, no, I watch so much wrestling and all the different brands, and I'm trying to catch up because I haven't watched it my whole life. But yeah, no, I'm also like kind of into true crime stuff like that. So there's I think there's a show, Only Murders in the Building, and there's only
Okay.
2 seasons. That one's like really good. Um, hey, I also recommend some like trash TV, like The Bachelorette and stuff like that. You know, that's always entertaining, like to have on in the background. But for the most part, yeah, just wrestling. I feel like that's pretty much, unless I'm trying to not pay attention, I'll put something else on as like background kind of filler. But other than that, yeah, no, sorry, I'm not that big of a help as far as different things to watch.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Hey, and I don't mind trash TV. I'm all for it. You know, I mean, you're talking to a guy who grew up watching Jerry Springer, and I even watched Flavor of Love when it was out. You know what I mean?
I
So, you
love
know, you're not gonna.
Yeah. And the
Oh,
movies,
yes, you're.
I mean, and the movies are another thing. So I'll go to the movies. Like I've seen the Super Mario one was really good. A movie was really
Okay.
good. The Transformers, the most recent one that just
I
came
want
out.
to see that. Yeah.
So it's just like sometimes when something hits the movies, like, oh, that's kind of like my fix of TV too. I'm like, oh, this movie hit, I'm gonna go watch it. So that way you get the experience with snack and popcorn and the big screen and the good audio and even sometimes 3D, you know, in that sense.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, yeah, I try. Yeah, the movie though it has to be kind of short for me because when I go into a movie theater, sometimes they got the recliners sometimes and all, and then it'd be all nice and cool in there. The lights go out, and I'm like, yeah, you know. Then next thing you know, I'm like, oh man, I done missed half the movie. What happened? Oh, come on, man. Like,
well,
oh,
I know you watch movies because your whole backdrop is a bunch of different movies.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I like watching these. You know what I mean? This is probably one of my favorite movies, Terminator 2. Yeah, I love that. You know what I mean? It's like how a robot movie making me cry. You know what I mean? So, you know. See, that's what. See, watching these movies is what makes me afraid of people using that AI and stuff. It's like you know, John Connor is looking at everybody right now, just shaking his head like, "I told y'all, I told y'all it was gonna happen."
Exactly.
That's right. That's right. So before I pass it on back to Remy, I do want to say, you know, thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule, coming on chat with us. Definitely had a blast. I wish you nothing but the best for you and your career. I hope you get to travel like everywhere you want to go. I hope you get to do everything you need to do. I hope you win belts everywhere you go and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? I wish nothing but positive things to you and your family.
Thank you so much, Rob. And I support and encourage you too. Thank you for having me.
J Rod, thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be on our show. We really and truly appreciate it. So I just got one more question. It's a quick one, and if you could answer it very quickly, we really appreciate it. So Knox Pro, you guys are doing big things. You're like our fourth guest from there that we've had on there. We've had you. We now consider we've had you. You're our alumni guest. We've had the Vanity Twins, and we've also had, I don't know if you know this other guy, Otto Von Clutch. We had him on 2 or 3 years ago. Quick question: top five? Who are the next ones we should actually see about having on the show?
Okay, so you should definitely have one of the guys named Jake Painter. He's the backbreaking artist. He's from Chicago and lives
I've
out
heard of him.
here. You should have he goes by 2 names. Actually, no, I shouldn't say that. But Ray Rico, he's an up and coming young talent from Knox Pro, so he's definitely going to be a breakout star in the future. And then also Tamiko, he's Bakishi's other son, so there's another member of the bloodline that's up and coming. I think that he would be someone fun to bring on and kind of introduce to the world in a different way. So that would be a good opportunity too. There's a girl that I train with. Her name is PJ Laurier, and she went to college, and this is her dream as well. And so we work really well in the ring together and train well together. And she's starting to kind of take some outside bookings too. So I think that having her, that would be super cool for her to have this experience and opportunity as well.
Awesome. I'll definitely have. I've heard of 2 out of 4 of those people. I believe I met Jake Painter almost 3 years ago, when I was in Tampa, Florida, for a GCW show. He was there with Sky Blue. It may have been him. I may be wrong, but it may be a different person. But if it's him, I may have met him before 3 years ago. Really cool person. I've seen him on Instagram, and he's definitely on our radar. Tomiko Fatu, I've heard about too as well. Doesn't have a lot on his Instagram yet, but it's gonna be interesting to see when he debuts. That whole family is just impressive. Like even the ones that aren't signed, just as impressive as well too. But we're definitely gonna be looking into Ray Rico and PJ Laurier as well too. I gotta say, y'all are definitely impressive, and like Rob said, we wish you nothing but the best in your career. We look forward to seeing great things from you. When you go over to the Philippines, enjoy it. Have some pork adobo for me, and some lumpia and pancit. That's some of my favorite dishes. Also, another thing, when you get to Japan, make sure, and I'm sure Rikishi has one, make sure you get your Ribera jacket. It's kind of like an unofficial rite that all professional wrestlers have to go through. It's a restaurant, it's a steakhouse, and people like Hulk Hogan, John Cena, William Regal, they've all gone over there and they've gotten that jacket from Ribera. It's something that the owner gives to pro wrestlers and boxers and MMA fighters. It's over in Japan, so definitely make sure you get that. But
thank you so much. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it and the opportunities to come, and yeah, definitely have those guys on. I think that they would have great conversations with you too. You guys are great.
We appreciate it. So before we shut this show down, where can fans find you on social media? When they want to find out when next appearances, purchase merchandise from the Ultimate Athlete, J-Rod, and also where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
So I have a booking email. It's JRod UA Pro Wrestling @gmail.com. And then my Instagram and Facebook are typically how I have people follow me to see upcoming matches and stuff like that. JSRODEN. So that's my Instagram handle and a way to find my Facebook as well. But yeah, you'll find me on those social networks, and then hopefully too, I'll start uploading more to like TikTok and some things. But I'll occasionally tweet, but I feel like to find my next shows and merchandise and stuff like that, follow me on Instagram.
Awesome. So y'all definitely make sure you follow this incredible woman. She's doing a lot of great things. She looks like a superhero and she moves like one too. So make sure y'all definitely, check her out. Cop that, J-Rod merchandise. If you can't make the shows, that's another way you can support her and support indie wrestling, is actually by purchasing the merchandise that she has as well too. Because like I said, what better way to actually, boast than when somebody comes up to you and they're like, oh, look what I got from Shop AEW or WWE Shop. I got the J-Rod shirt. And you can be like, yeah, that's impressive. It's okay. But I got the shirt from when she was on the Indies. You can't find it nowhere. It's only right here on my person. Yeah. So yeah. It's always a great thing. Yeah, definitely. It's always a great thing to support somebody from the beginning of the journey. So support indie wrestling, support J-Rod. Trust me, you won't regret it. And with that being said, it's about time for us to shut this show down. But before we shut this show down, and J-Rod, if you don't mind, we normally do this when we have unfortunate events like this. We recently lost a great man in the form of the Iron Sheik, a very impressive wrestler, a man who knew how to put on a show for the crowd, whether it be as a heel or a face. He was definitely entertaining to watch, and he was pretty much the start, one of the guys that gave pretty much Hulkamania its start, because Hulkamania got his first title reign off of defeating, Hulk Hogan got his first title reign off of defeating the Iron Sheik. and unfortunately we lost him this past week. So with that being said, like we always do, it's never a great thing that we enjoy doing, but we're gonna pay our respects right now by giving the Iron Sheik, former WWF champion and former WWF Tag Team champion, a 10-bell salute. So with that being said, here we go. Sorry. Iron Sheik, thank you for the memories. Thank you for the matches. We'll miss you. And with that being said, it's about time for us to shut this show down. My eyelids are getting heavy. My stomach is rumbling. That means it's time for dinner and a nap. Maybe not that order. Also, tonight is actually NXT. And after that, it's actually going to be Dark Side of the Ring as well. So for those of you that are, hardcore wrestling fans like us, you're going to be tuning into that. Man, y'all got so much wrestling on a Tuesday night. Man, y'all are so lucky, man. Anyways, it is what it is. But with that being said, Rob Bass, the Mel Gibson to my Danny Glover, the Charlie Haas to my Shelton Benjamin, and the Sean Spencer to my Burton Guster. Where can fans find you on social media when they want to talk wrestling? Find out where your next appearances, purchase Rob Bass merchandise, and where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
All right, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Rob_Bass82. Facebook, Rob Bass, and you can catch me this Saturday in Selbyville, Delaware, 1CW. We're having a show. It's our debut there in Selbyville. And then the next week on Sunday, we're going to be in Milford, Delaware, doing an outdoor show there. And then 2 weeks, we're coming back to Houston for our home fans, you know what I mean? So that's July 6th. So, yeah, definitely stay tuned for that. And then we're booked up, for the rest of the summer, you know what I mean? Stay tuned, and I'll give you the match, the card, who's wrestling there and all that. So definitely check it out and get your tickets now. It's going to be standing room only, and you don't want to be standing there. You're going to need a seat in there.
So y'all definitely make sure you check out 1CW. They're doing great things over there in Delaware. And, it's only going to get better. So if you're in, any of those surrounding areas, definitely head on over there. I'm actually kind of jealous right now. I'm here in Brooklyn, New York. But, hey, it is what it is. But with that being said, if you want to find me on social media, not that I say a lot of cool things, but I do go to a lot of cool places every now and then. You can definitely find me on Twitter and Instagram at the Remy Blue. You can also find me on Facebook under the alias Remy Blue. And our podcast is also on social media. We're on Twitter and Instagram at Ringside Society, Twitch at Ringside Society 2019. We're on Facebook as a Facebook group. We're on Spotify, and we're also on Teespring, where we sell official Ringside Society merchandise. We have t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, sweatshirts, even coffee mugs for your favorite warm beverage. So definitely check us out. All proceeds go back into keeping our show afloat. And last but not least, we have a YouTube channel where you can also see cool interviews like this one with J-Rod, like the one we had with the Vanity Twins, the Renegade Twins, the Diamond Sheik, CCW owner Marcello, and so many great men and women in the professional wrestling industry. All you got to do is type in Ringside Society when you get to YouTube. And once you see that really handsome, dark blue and light blue, yin-yang sound with the blue flames around it, that's when you know it's us. So make sure you subscribe to all our videos, because we got a lot of cool stuff coming up, and you don't want to miss a thing like Aerosmith in 1998. But with that being said, we just want to thank everybody tuning in live tonight. Thank you very much. We really and truly appreciate it. We strive on being one of the best wrestling podcasts a wrestling fan could and should listen to, and we're going to keep on doing so. For those of you that are going to listen later on, we get a chance. Thank you very much in advance. And those y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really and truly wish we go away, well, like myself at a Golden Corral and Rob Bass at a Taco Festival, we're not going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us.
And we ain't stopping. With that being said, We just want to let everybody know that we are very well and aware that everybody and their grandparents and their parents have a podcast. But we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. Hashtag, we are not the same. Hey, yo, Rob Bass. With that being said, one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, one time for Knox Pro, and one time for the ultimate athlete who's going to kick a lot of ass over in the Philippines and everywhere else she goes, J-Rod.
Woo!
What type of podcast are we?
We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast.
That's right, we're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society, and we will be back later on this week with another impressive guest on another impressive episode. But until then, we just have 4 favors for you. Stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We out. Peace.
Peace.
See y'all. Good night.